All right, let's get into the Cracker Barrel real quick and shake it up a little because the Steak and Shake and Don had those high stakes at the meeting with Putin, and we got the CEO of Cracker Barrel named Julie Fels-Massino. That Sin has that moon reflector in it that we've been tracking, and then the Julie has that Lee for that dragon, and that Twin Towers as far as concerning with Trump and the tariffs with China and the BRICS and Putin and all these things we got stacked against America. And the Steak and Shake mentions the fries paid with Bitcoin, and then Trump was at that McDonald's, the McDon alt, and the alt on the ears and those types of things. But all this is kind of connecting a line on Tim Walz or Elon Musk, JD Vance, Kamala, Barack, Ukraine, Putin, whoever being involved in this shooting as we're going into this little spiral. The spiral is in that golden ratio, and that golden, that go olden is there before you with the Biden and as he's the moon, and then Kamala's part of the dark side of the moon, and then she's over there with the Newsom, who's the Gavin connected to the GA-VIN, which connects to the Georgia AI, and then he's doing the play where I told you we're be looking in Texas, and then California would be the next state over from Texas to be doing it, but then that's where California's coming and doing it, and those that California for that dragon landing and the red heifer sacrifice and those types of things on the line. The Ukraine showed a 2.5 mile shot that they recently got. I told about the assassin and that long shot, 1600 or more, and then we've seen the assassin hit the ear and such since then. But this is as a deadly head wound to those types of things, and then we could see as a deadly head wound happen in another way. And we also seen this with Elon Musk on a clip that I posted before, but he was on some movie and then they showed his head explode, or some series or whatever. But that was part of as a deadly head wound, and those things where Elon Musk has done. He said Doge, and then now the Doge has fulfilled itself, and then he was in this movie, his head blown apart. Now this can happen, and this can be where the told you that get the Two-Face and shit coming in eventually, and that ties to your Harvey Dent, and the Harvey Dent connects to your the Den for the Biden, and then the cartels for the incarnation of the Christ, and those things we got into, and then the either way, the Cracker Barrel is being shown on these key dates. And then the Ukraine, they're being shown, and the Schumann frequency, it goes dark and silent on 820, and then Trump comes out on 821, says, hey, I'm going to go out and be the Dark Dawn tonight and roam the streets with the forces, okay? And then he comes and he starts to become the 821 peace deal instead of the 128 peace deal we saw back in 2020. But either way, we have this little lineup on his PA system, and then that Secret Serve us, the Secret Serve ICE, and the Vice, and the Miami Vice, and the Crockett and Tubbs. The Crockett we see with the little rocket man and the black woman named Crockett. And then Kim Jong-un just said he finally released the truth about the people dying in the Ukraine-Russian war, helping Russia. So this is where it's all like feeding into where it gives reasons for, it gives the rhymes and reasons for the Kim Jong-un and the little rocket man to be part of that John and the sign of the coming. And so either way, all these things have been lining up. There's like so much coming out past been on like a whole nother speed since Hulk Hogan passed. And then it's ticking up, but since he's passed, it's been on like a whole nother kind of level as far as the news and the live sequencing and all these things connecting and whatever else. But either way, oh yeah, the Wise Guys pizza. The wise guys, the wise men, they see the star in the sky, this 31 Atlas on one level, another star in the sky, the dawn, he's put in the sky so you can see him all as he rises to his little position. All right, but the Cracker Barrel is being called generic. We're in those Genesis time frames, that Schumann frequency went silent, the darkness upon the deep, all those types of things. So we're in that time of light and time of change, and the real and the is real, and that motion picture given life, and Hollywood 1911 to now the 9/11 with the Trump 45-47 and your 16/11, all these things wrapping into a little thing as you have this hive of Satan being gathered for this one world order, and then you have the tribe of Jesus that's going to break off from that for this other one world order. Okay, but the 80-20 rule, and then the 80 is about to be 8 for your 8th year on the woman clothed in the sun, and then you got the 24 year on the 9/11, which is also an 8. You're going into 2026, which is also an 8, and those types of things. Okay, so a bunch of eating going on for these last suppers, or sub pairs, and he already sent out the sub pairs.